freshman Jasmine Rhodes gets her first career start. Teresa Plaisance averages 16 points, 8 rebounds a game. She has been superb, but LSU turns it over a lot. For Louisville now, Slaughter and Taylor are both 6'1". Bria Smith is an all-conference junior, but Shoney is the big star, without question. Jeff Waltz, now in his 7th year at Louisville. He's become one of the bright stars in coaching. 180 wins. He's already the winningest coach in Louisville women's history. The Cardinals in the home whites set for the opening tip. Nice big raucous crowd here for game 2. We are underway and the Cardinals have it. And for Louisville, the second consecutive Sweet 16 appearance. Taylor feeding it out up top for Schimmel, who averages 17 a game, but she can drop 25 to 30 if she really gets cooking. Smith can't find a range in close with the first effort of the day. Here's Ballard now. Boy, has she been explosive. First jumper, a lot of iron, but it'll roll off. A scrap for the rebound, knocked out of bounds, actually kicked, and it'll stay on. Well, it'll go the other way. They're going to change their mind. Here's Nikki Caldwell, the head coach for LSU in her 3rd season. Won a national championship as a player and an assistant at Tennessee, and then turned UCLA into a tournament team before coming to Baton Rouge.
They got a Louisville team that's going to have to be patient against a LSU defense that's been very good.
Ballard again tying up with a foul here with 19:07 to go in the opening half. That'll go against Bria Smith of Louisville.
You think about this LSU team. They were trailing by 7. They had to score on their final 10 possessions, finish with a 20-4 kick for Nikki Caldwell to come out of Baton Rouge against a very good West Virginia team. She called it a character victory, and I think it's appropriate.
They're going to need another one today, without a doubt. Rebound popped up and controlled by Louisville. And Sarah Hammond, who gets 6 a game. And she is a 6'2 junior. She'll fire here and around and out with her first shot of the day. Taken away by the Cardinals. A turnover by LSU. And again, they turn it over 17 times a game. They make no excuses for it. Taylor travels while stepping into the jumper.
Well, when we talked to Nikki Caldwell, I said, what has to happen against a Louisville team that will come with some pressure, that will generate turnovers? She said, listen, we come into this knowing we are going to have turnovers. It's been part of what we've done all year. The key here is what kind of turnovers. Are they dead ball turnovers so that teams can't get runouts?
Harden bouncing here. Underneath and a quick strike. That's Jasmine Rhodes again getting her first start. Just a freshman out of Mobile, Alabama. And you wonder what kind of nerves she's going to carry into this contest. It's an NCAA tournament game.
Well, no question about it. Very poor breakdown by Louisville. No one at home on the backside of that defense.
Slaughter to Smith. Back for Shoney. Lost the dribble and plucked away by Rhodes. Very quick hands there. The rookie gives it away to Ballard. The leaner, no. Shoney Schimmel ahead for Taylor, and she'll lay it in.
We see a very good and loud crowd. Probably a wise decision, as Holly Rowe mentioned, for John Kennedy to stay there, because this building is loud.
Cross-court Rhodes can't stick the jumper. Big battle for the rebound, and a foul here will go against Louisville. 17:25 to go in the first half. Personal will go on Hammond.
The first bucket for Louisville comes off a drive from LSU, which led to bad floor balance. Nobody rotated back. Asia Taylor gets out in transition. That is a 6'1" post who can run the floor. This is a potent offensive team for Louisville.
Harden tosses it over the top for Rhodes. Tigers will set it up. Coming in at 21-12. They went 7-9 in the brutal SEC, which had 5 teams reach the Sweet 16 round.
At one point, they were 7-4 in the league, so it really went south late.
Plaisance too strong there. Although she's capable of stepping out and hitting a 3, she's 6'4", 6'5". Slaughter, quick fake to her right, airborne, sticks it. Antonita Slaughter, the senior.
Well, you can see they're committed to taking away her three, and Slaughter can really start to get it going from deep.
Ballard penetrates the floater for two. She has been absolutely on fire in this tournament.
Oh, she has been putting on a show, and that's her. A dynamic driver, has the floater at her disposal.
She averaged 10 points a game in season. Taylor with one too strong, but averaging 23 in the tournament. And rebounding like crazy. Harden can't stick it.
Yeah, 16 boards, 23 points, 16 boards.
She's 5'9". The dish intended for Schimmel, batted away by LSU. They got back nicely on the defensive end.
And you can see Danielle Ballard's first round 24, follows that up with 22. And listen, it's a short bench. You're going to play this kid through mistakes, maybe bad shots. It doesn't matter. You've got no options if you're Nikki McRae or Nikki Caldwell, excuse me. And Ballard has answered the call.
Well, Sarah Hammond, an official timeout, is cut. Looks like she's got some blood on that right knee.
You know what? This will give Jeff Walls a chance to get his team to calm down. It feels to me like this team feels like there's a crowd here to support them. They want to play well, but just relax a little bit, Louisville.
Well, Jeff has already coached in the biggest games you can coach in. He's turned this into a national power. And another whistle here with 16:19 to go. Foul will be on Jasmine Rhodes. Maybe an indication they're going to call it tightly.
Yeah.
Schimmel, quick entry pass to give for Hammond. Way too short. And Plaisance picks the rebound.
That perimeter game is very much in her disposal. So those shots she's missed, Hammond, are not shots that come out of the context of what they do.
Ballard, tough scoop for two.
You got to give her a cushion. I mean, I challenge her. You have a hand up in contest, but give her a cushion. She is a hard driver.
Slaughter can't stick that. She is 30% beyond the three-point line. So far, Shoni Schimmel has not been any kind of a factor early in this one. Has yet to take a shot. She did make one really nice pass. That was a forced shot by McKinney. Here's Shoni now on the open floor. Kind of a wild shot off the window. LSU, Schimmel reaches in, nearly freed that basketball, but an official timeout.
I think he's seeing something on the floor, perhaps.
I think that was the reason for the stoppage in play. You're right.
But Danielle Ballard picking up where she left off. This is a hard-driving, hard-charging athlete. Gets the bucket, and LSU competing.
The NCAA Women's Championship is
LSU with a 6-4 lead on Louisville, the number 7 and number 3 seeds here in the Louisville Regional Semifinal. Dave O'Brien, Doris Burke, and Holly Rowe alongside from the Young Center. Great win for Maryland earlier today on this floor. Really controlling the game throughout against Tennessee and knocking the number 1 seed in this region out of the tournament.
Well, Tennessee just never looked right. Too many turnovers throughout the course of the game. Could never establish their interior game. And late when they were able to make a little bit of a push, it was way too much. Alyssa Thomas, 3-time ACC Player of the Year, had her way.
Harden with a jumper glancing off the iron. Jeff Walls gets Jude Schimmel into the game, Shoni's sister. Here's Slaughter with a long one. She's missed a couple of those right out of the shoot. Jude gets down and dirty there, back to her sister, and Shoni can't connect. It's one of the reasons he made that substitution, though. Take some of the ball handling away from Shoni.
And I think Jude is a very steady presence at the backup point guard position. I just feel like Louisville is pressing a little bit through the first few minutes of this one.
Hill with a scoop shot. Not there. Rena Hill, who is from Nagoya, Japan. Taylor stops at the foul line. Here's Schimmel. Shoni got it. And lights up the building.
As soon as she steps across half court, you have got to be able to step toward her and get a hand up and contest. Big time range for Shoni Schimmel.
The only player in school history with 2,000 points and 500 assists. Plaisance really had a terrific career. In particular, his senior year at LSU. Shot clock at 7. Here's Ballard. Yes. She stays hot.
Yeah, she has got a nice in-between game, clearly, with a high level of confidence, and why not?
She's done it in big games against Tennessee earlier this season. She had 25.
And a matchup zone here for LSU, which has been a big part of their defensive abilities.
Slaughter back for Taylor for the jumper. Yes. And now the Cardinals starting to hit their shots. Already, we've had 5 lead changes in this one.
Asia Taylor, a young woman who sat out a year ago due to injury, so missed that trip to the national championship games. She is loving life right now.
Ballard wants it again to the left hand for 2.
You have to stay in front of Danielle Ballard, and this is something we're unaccustomed to. Louisville usually is so good at taking away your strength.
Tell you what, this tournament is making her a rising star. She's only a sophomore from Memphis, and a huge Derrick Rose fan. Here's Slaughter, and that's off target. Big rebound, Hammond off the iron, it rolls.
Now, these are shots they make, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know whether there's nerves, something playing a part here, but they're getting some of the things they want, just not completing. And this is a drastically different LSU team than the one that played here earlier. They were much younger, didn't have 33 games under their belt.
That team lost 88-67, but Ballard was a different player and far more impactful now. And look at this, up 12-9.
Yeah, they just look confident, composed, aggressive. They have zip to lose.
Ballard has scored their last 10 for LSU. Hammond, great fake, drives it, lays it in.
A good job by her. If you miss your first couple of jump shots, even if you're capable from the mid-range, get yourself an easy one. Get closer to the rim, either get fouled or make a layup.
Plays on, it's at 6-5. Handing off for Harden. Difficult shot and can't connect. So Louisville trying to retake the lead. Shoni Schimmel airborne with a foul. And she'll be at the line.
Well, LSU, through the first 2 TV timeouts, they're doing work, and they're doing it behind a player who has been on fire. Danielle Ballard has been.
Ballard, if you see a little Derrick Rose in her game, it's not by accident. Here's who she dressed up for Halloween. She is obsessed with Derrick Rose. She's got posters on her wall. One of our production members, our director, made a comment about Derrick Rose not playing lately, and she gave him a look that frankly chilled all of us. She's got that swagger in her game. She loves him so much. And guys, you can see it. She's strong to the rim, but she's got that pull-up. Her game really simplified, look like his.
That's a mistake I would never make and Doris would never make, but Schwabe, our director, absolutely walked into it. Wrong person.
Yes.
To disparage, even in a minor way, the talents of Derrick Rose.
Well, you and I just came off the American Men's Conference Championship, which was in the city of Memphis, and a lot of ballers come out of that city. Big-time players.
Big time indeed. Turned over by LSU. So Louisville up by 1. Shoni Schimmel back for Gibbs. A long one. Got it. Tia Gibbs. Very solid. 38% out there.
You can't fall asleep against Louisville from 3. There's too many options. Schimmel, Slaughter, Gibbs. Jude Schimmel will make some.
Ballard again negotiating and off that window for 2.
Well, that's Derrick Rose at the rim. I mean, you think about how explosive a driver Derrick Rose is.
Well, she's having herself a half with 12 already.
Yeah, think about Nina Davis, who's playing on Baylor's team that's now in the Elite Eight. Will take on Notre Dame, another Memphis kid.
Another corner jumper, knocked it down. Gibbs coming off the bench. It's his second one.
Now, Tia Gibbs, I mean, listen, 44 threes made at 38% coming into this ballgame. You got to get out there and check her. High percentage shooter.
They're trying to drive, denied, and fouled on the play. The crowd didn't like it. It's going to be number 2 on Sarah Hammond.
Now, Jeff Walls refers to Tia Gibbs as his X factor, and come off the bench, just relocate. Schimmel is going to drive right at her defender and then screen her as she passes the ball off. Really well executed play.
She's returned from hip and shoulder injuries. Had some big games. At 17 against Cincinnati, 19 against South Florida. Hill, 5-second violation. Couldn't get it in.
So I just make this observation. Out of that one timeout, Jeff Walls put Jude Schimmel on the floor. And it's not as though Jude is making a huge influence, but one player, just by virtue of their demeanor, can settle everybody in.
Well, she and her sisters, Gibbs, tried to line up another three, and they thought there was a foul. Jude with a misfire. The crowd certainly did. There was a lot of contact there, but no whistle. With the Schimmel sisters combined for about half of the assists on the Louisville squad. Ballard again, but that one missed off to the right. And deflected out of play. It'll go the other way. It'll be Louisville ball. The crowd has been howling for fouls. Well, the Frozen Four in Philly fills its final two spots in men's ice hockey, starting with the puck drops on UMass Lowell and Boston College tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. Plaisance going to the bench. You're talking about 16 points, 8 rebounds a game going to the bench.
Experience, size, offensive abilities. Nice block.
That was Ballard jumping right in Gibbs' face to swat that one away.
Wow, she had a very long closeout. That just shows you the kind of speed and area she can cover.
Well, right now, without Danielle Ballard, LSU would be in deep, deep trouble. As it is, they're down 5. Joni Schimmel with a jump shot all the way and drains that.
That's the portion of her game that Jeff Walz challenged her to be better in. And Schimmel has been a great three-point shooter her entire career, but that in-between game, and get to the free-throw line game, had to be there.
Ballard bouncing for Hill. This is a 12-2 run now for the Cardinals. Hill winning too strong on an offensive foul.
The momentum clearly in Louisville's favor. Feels like it's getting away from LSU at this moment. How about Shoney? Quick inbound, and then just going to dribble up the floor, look for an opportunity off the screen from Taylor, and wisely in the mid-range.
It's a confident-looking jump shot. We've seen that before from the All-American. He comes off the screen. Approaching 9 minutes to go in the first half. The crowd really getting into it on behalf of the Cardinals. Taylor to her right. And a shove there. A foul here with 6 on the shot clock. Foul against LSU. And that'll be on McKinney. Their first. Nikki Caldwell certainly had a vested interest in watching Tennessee earlier today get knocked off by Maryland. So much of her heart still with that program and the great Pat Summitt. But Tennessee is headed back to Knoxville.
6 straight years without the Lady Vols going to a Final Four. Longest streak in history. I mean, it just, that alone shows you what kind of success that program has had. 6 years without a Final Four, and it's like the apocalypse has set in.
Gibbs is going to get hit with an offensive foul, pushing off there, her first, with 8:41 to go.
Nikki Caldwell, of course, at Tennessee, has a national championship to her credit.
Well, the Lady Vols went 118-13 during her playing career. Then she was a valued assistant coach for a long, long time, capturing a pair of NCAA titles as an assistant and reaching the Final Four 5 times. Stolen away by Schimmel and a blocking foul here against LSU.
See, Louisville does such a great job of mixing up their defenses and changing the pace of the game with opportunistic traps. I mean, this guy, you're right. You came on the air and said this is one of the rising stars in college coaching. There is not a doubt that Jeff Walz is as good as there is in the women's game. Maybe one exception, Gina Auriemma, but you give him some time and some recruits, and you better look out. Jeff Walz has coached in the national championship game twice. Lost twice, but coached there twice already.
2 times already. And 4 losses this year, 3 of them to UConn. Jude Schimmel applies the brakes. It's Gibbs again. Too strong. Battle for the rebound, and tipped out of play. Will stay on this end for the Cardinals. 70 would appear to be the key for Louisville. They are 17-0 when they score 70 or more points this season. Shoney gets it in for Taylor. The kick out for Jude on the way. Timeout, LSU. Caldwell.
Well, Coach, you felt the need to call a timeout right there. What was the reason?
Defensively, we've got to make sure that we're not missing our coverage. we're giving them wide open shots. We want to give up the jump shot, but we don't need to have them wide open.
Danielle Ballard's done so much. Do you continue to ride her, or is it important to get other people involved?
No, we're going to have to get other people involved. We're going to get plaisance going a little bit, but we've got to make sure that we're taking the best shot for the team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you certainly don't want to give up uncontested threes to Louisville. They're 35% on the season. They've got 4 players with 20 or more threes. And she makes a good point about plaisance. You're not walking out of here with a win unless you're a senior. Gets involved in the offensive end. Plaisance has only taken 1 shot.
And she missed that. And only one other LSU shooter has attempted more than 1 shot.
Listen, let's make sure we reiterate that LSU is without their 2nd and 4th leading scorer. Sean Kinney was 11 points, 3 rebounds, and she had 115 assists. And I loved her game. So that is a huge miss.
Harden trying to get out of there. And knocked away by Louisville. Right in front of the bench. Now the injuries have caused the Lady Tigers see Moncrief there. Such a key miss to dress only 8 players for this game. Plaisance back in. A jumper. Got it.
Now, she's a very capable 6'5" scorer. She can go in or out. Got a very good face-up game.
She had 29 against Georgia, 26 against Alabama, 23 against Ole Miss. All of those on the road. Jude Schimmel hit a big 3 moments ago. Taylor had it swatted away. She's fouled by Ballard. 7:26 remaining in the half. Ballard with her first.
It just feels like a Louisville program that, because of where they have been over the last several years, of course, the great run by Angel McCoughtry. Can you imagine the lessons they learned in that national championship run a year ago and return 4 starters off of it?
Trying to get back there, at least trying to get back to the Final Four, which will be in Nashville. Angel was a dynamic scorer, great player.
We had Alyssa Thomas from Maryland, 3-time ACC Player of the Year in the first game. Dynamic scores could take you a long way in the tournament.
Oh, that pretty by Schimmel, but she could not finish it. She did everything but on a great drive. Ballard off her own foot. She lost it. Shoni Schimmel scoops it up. Taylor has a lot of space to operate. Here's the kick for Gibbs, and she knocks down the 3. She has come off the bench and been a factor.
Yeah, and how about the play? Taylor gives up a great shot for a really, really great shot.
Harden, too strong. Big rebound by McKinney. 27-60. It feels like it's just on the edge of getting away from LSU.
And that's why those offensive rebounds were one of the first 4 things they put on their scout. They need to create second chances against a very good Louisville defense.
Harden on Taylor. Shot clock down to 8. Ballard off the fake. Harden's got to get it in the air. Rebounded away by the Cardinals, who are 17-1 at home. Jude Schimmel all the way and can't connect.
She overthought it. She absolutely overthought it.
You could see that.
No question. The whole way she's feeling the defender. Don't think about the defender now in transition. Just go get it, Jude. You had the step. See, right there, she's just thinking about it. She should have just attacked, because I don't think Ballard wanted any part of putting her at the free throw line.
Courtney Walt committed the foul for Louisville.
But I love this kid. I love her steady demeanor. This is a rock star as a student. Jude Schimmel gets it done in all kinds of ways.
At 5'5". Tough leaning shot there by Rose, and she draws the foul. Really hunting for the contact there. With 5:57 remaining in the half, coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship and a regional finals continues today on CBS.
I'm not sure that the games can get any better. Last night I was on the edge of my seat.
I'm so happy for Bo Ryan, who's been a magnificent coach at Wisconsin for so long, knocking off Arizona in a great basketball game.
Just absolutely fantastic. I hated the call down the stretch. They call a charge on Arizona. I absolutely thought it was a foul first, but what are you going to do?
Walton to the bench. Rhodes at 60% at the line.
But you're right. Listen, Bo Ryan is an extraordinary basketball coach. His best offensive team takes him to a Final Four.
Jude Schimmel to walk it up. Playing alongside her All-American sister. Taylor thought about it. Shot clock to 15. Here's Slaughter.
You see, Rhodes is doing nothing but taking Shoni Schimmel. She's face guarding her away and just trying to prevent touches.
Nice bounce feed, and Slaughter converts it. And, of course, she can also step out and hit a lot of threes.
I think this team has been entirely different since Jude Schimmel stepped between the lines. The whole feel of them. It's like they relaxed, calmed down, and started to get to work.
Oh, I think you're right. Like a different team. Plaisance too strong. Big rebound by McKinney and a foul there. She's been hard to handle at 6'4". I think you're right. A great substitution by Walls to bring her in.
Well, if Shoni Schimmel is fire, here's ice. Nice little bounce pass. Draw 2, dish to 1. Well done, Jude Schimmel. It just gets the angle, forces rotation, and puts it in the hands of Slaughter.
Slaughter just committed her first foul, but McKinney can't hit. She makes 65% at the line. A shot blocking center.
Isn't it amazing how different two kids from the same family can be? You know, you have 3 children, I have 2 children. Raised in the same home, same parents, doesn't matter. Temperament's so different. Jude and Shoni, so different.
I'm not sure mine come out of the same dryer. Taylor, oh, great block by Plaisance from behind. So now LSU are looking for a full head of steam. They usually go to Ballard these days when they need that. She'll drive it again with a teardrop. Battle for the rebound, knocked away. The officials are going to confer. It'll go the other way. It'll be Louisville ball.
Do you remember what Nikki Caldwell said to Holly Rowe when we had a chance to interview her underneath the 8? She said, you know, it's about taking the right shot for your team. That one by Ballard. And listen, you're riding her hard because you need her production. But you could get that kind of drive off the next pass or perhaps reversal.
And listen, the 2 players that they lost, Moncrief and Kenny, combined to start 57 games. They didn't lose kids at the end of the bench who play infrequently.
Correct.
They lost 2 players who could start on a regular basis and often did.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you miss the productivity of Moncrief and the leadership. And
Plaisance, long distance, no.
Listen, Kenny was an outstanding point guard. I loved watching her play.
Shoni with a look away and 2. Man, is that a crafty play.
Yeah, and bad defense, too. I mean, this crowd has gotten accustomed to Shoni putting on a show on the open floor, but stop the ball, LSU.
Crowd loves it, though. 31-18. Shot clock at 7. Rhodes denied. Gibbs with some great D. Shot clock to 2. And a foul. No basket as Plaisance got hit.
You know, Shoni Schimmel has 1,000 points on 3-point attempts alone. There was a day and age she might have pulled up from 3 in transition. This time, a little look away. Draw the defender. Nicely done.
But with some help from her teammates, not getting a lot of scoring help from the others.
Yeah, on the other side, great balance from Louisville. 6 players have scored, a bunch of assists, only 1 assist for LSU.
More of this great analysis and insight coming up at the half. Back to Dave and Doris, and I'm serious.
Kevin, thanks. We love the great analysis. Well, coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One continues at 4:30. Penn State and Stanford. Then at 6:30, North Carolina battling South Carolina, the number 1.
Well, Dawn Staley did an incredible job at Temple. She has now done it in what was the toughest conference in women's college basketball with South Carolina. And, well, there's some talk that perhaps down the line, if Gino Auriemma ever stops coaching that Olympic team, that perhaps she would be under consideration for that job. A highly decorated USA basketball player.
Plaisance at the line, just her 3rd point. This goes back to Kara's point moments ago. Nobody else other than Ballard has even scored 5 points, and only 3 LSU Lady Tigers have even scored in this game.
Yeah. They must feel like they're on vacation, as you see Alyssa Thomas after the first couple of days of the grind of the tournament in the studio for 16, 17 hours. They're slacking back there now.
They're just mailing it in. Slaughter up top for Taylor. Here's Schimmel. Trying to tie her up. Now it's loose on the deck. Rhodes plucked it away. Tight defense by the pesky freshman. She'll drive it now. Can't convert, though. Another layup LSU could not hit. Gibbs looking for help. It's Schimmel for the three.
And that's what great teams do to me. You make a mistake, and you're right, Rhodes has been tough and competitive as a driver. But you make a mistake against a good team, and they're going to put points on the board on the other end.
Well, Louisville can do that. Indeed, on their way to another 70-point game. That's the magic number for the Cardinals with 2:41 left in the half. Rhodes has it high. Long jumper by Peterson won't go. And the shot's just not falling for the Lady Tigers other than for Ballard. Schimmel, great pass. The look away there, and two for Smith. And another timeout for Nikki Caldwell.
Percentage three-point shooters. They space the floor. They run good offense. And Louisville felt like it was underseeded in coming into this tournament. You talked about it. Just 4 losses, 3 to UConn, just 1 to Kentucky, the in-state rival.
And a 3 seed, even though they are ranked number 4 in the national poll coming in.
And Jeff just had some great lines. He said, I thought maybe we might be an NIT team. I'm glad to be in the tournament. 3 losses to UConn.
32-4, played in the national championship last year. Peterson won't shoot it as we approach 2 minutes before halftime. Shoney poked that away, but Ballard scoops it up. And she individually has had a terrific half and now has 14 points, but not enough from her teammates. 36-22, the Cardinals. There is no denying that their crowd behind them is another factor here.
Oh, yeah. And this will be the last opportunity. Not that it will be completely neutral venues next year. Another 3 on the way and another 3 made. This one by Slaughter.
Slaughter hit 7 threes in last year's stunning upset of top-ranked Baylor. So much was made, and justifiably, the marvelous shot that Shoney made against Brittany Griner. But Slaughter was huge in that game.
Well, huge not only from a from a three-point stance, but she was the one who was guarding Brittany Griner, face guarding her.
Right.
I mean, Slaughter said in the aftermath, she said, I knew what toothpaste Brittany Griner used. That's how close I was to her.
Rhea Smith just picked up the foul, so that'll put Plaisance at the line. The 6'5" senior from New Orleans. She's very good friends with Shoney Schimmel. And makes the first.
Played on the World University teams over the summer, got to know one another. And Teresa Plaisance said Shoney was actually pretty shy to start, but by the end of it, they had become good friends.
Now, one of the nation's most improved players at 16 points, 8 rebounds a game. And that one glances away. So it's 39-23. Louisville really settling in after the initial 5 or 6 minutes. It started to hit those 3-pointers. They've been on fire with those. 7 out of 16. And another whistle with 1:13 left.
I think that's frustrating. There's a little wry smile on the face of Nikki Caldwell. She can't believe it. I didn't know that there was a whole heck of a lot there.
Third-year head coach at LSU.
And I like the official just listening intently. And listen, I got to say this. We didn't mention the officials in Game 1. These officials have done a good job here in Game 2. And part of these whistles are just, the function of the new rules.
Shoney Schimmel making the first. Well, she had a game earlier this season against Memphis where she hit 9 3-pointers.
See, that to me is like when Kobe puts up 70. I might hurt him before I let him put up 70. I would not let her get a 3-point shot off.
14 in this one. 41-23. For LSU, the half cannot end quickly enough on the baseline. Harden, but no. Taylor comes out of the pack with a rebound. So the Cardinals with a chance to add to this lead, maybe get it up over 20 before the break. Jeff Walz calling a play now with 12 to shoot. Knocked away by Rhodes. Duke Schimmel gets it back. 5 to get off a shot. Here's Slaughter leaning in. Too strong. And a timeout by Louisville with 26.5 to go.
Got to use that one. Use it or lose it. So Jeff is going to make sure.
Blogs from many of our women's tournament stars. That's ESPNW.com, the home for women's sports.
Dolson and Agwumike are two young women who do not lack for a little bit of fun in their lives. Very charismatic, great personality kids.
I think we may be voting for them one day.
Yes. And I feel very comfortable doing so, I think.
Certainly would too, having gotten to know both of them. And honored to do so.
Although I might give Stephanie Dolson the party chair. I'd vote her for that.
Yeah. Well, 20 seconds before the half. And Louisville will hold for one more before the break. Jude Schimmel being harassed by Rhodes. Back to Shoney. Shot clock is off. The game clock down to 2. Slaughter heaves it off the top of the backboard, and that's how the first half comes to an end. Schimmel leading the way for Louisville with 14 points, and it really shot the ball well from 3. The Cardinals have 7 out of 18. McKinney trying to free it. Got it free. 2 plays on. She leans in, but it rolls off. 0 for 2 there. 0 for 3. Once again, Kinney fighting. Another one up and in, and this one's good by Ballard. And a whistle here on the line. So it'll be Louisville ball with a big lead, 41-25 for Jeff Walls.
No question, he's shouting about rebounding. We could hear it from across the court, even with our headsets on. And he is hot about what just happened on the offensive glass for LSU.
Now, Louisville is one of the great offensive rebounding teams in the country. So you know it gets under his skin when they lose the battle of the boards on any end. Schimmel, long one. Really nicking the iron. It'll stay on this end.
She was doing jumping jacks on the other side of the floor, trying to let her teammates know she was open.
Well, as she told Jeff Walls at the conclusion of the first half, the play that he was running, I was open. Did you want me to run the play all the way through? Because I was open. And he wanted her to run the play. Leading in tough, and that's Taylor to take the contact, and she'll be at the line.
You know how Rick Pitino said that Russ Smith made him laugh constantly?
Yes.
Can you imagine that Shoney Schimmel has probably given Jeff Walls a moment or two of entertainment?
Yeah. Just a few giggles. She has such a free and easy way, I think, of bringing joy to everybody. You know, Nikki Caldwell does not know him very well, but she was complimenting Jeff Walls up and down the other day. We were talking about it, and she said, I love the joy and the fun that his kids play with. They know if they make a mistake, he's not going to hook them right out of the game.
Well, and I think when you're coaching a talent like Shoney, and Jeff has said this, he did not want to put handcuffs on her early.
Lazance with a misfire. Kinney with a big rebound, but hit as well as she goes down. Shanice McKinney draws the foul. That'll go on Sarah Hammond. That's 3 on Hammond.
We got to say this. McKinney has done some work on the glass. And that's a 6'4" senior out of Mobile, Alabama. Looks like Hammond's got her checked out. And it's a very good call. She has tried to make herself a factor, McKinney, on the glass.
Hammond 11.6 rebounds on average has not been much of a factor here as that's kicked out of play.
But I think that would be the one criticism I have of Hammond. I love Hammond's game. I think she's got major talent. I know she can be undersized at times. She's a little up and down. And foul trouble typically is what causes some of that.
That would be a traveling violation against LSU. 18:46 remaining here in this regional semifinal. Nikki Caldwell trying to creep back into it on Louisville's home floor. We really thought the key moment of the first half as Taylor fires and misses was Jeff Wall's decision to bring Jude Schimmel into the game, and it seemed to flip everything.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's because I thought they were pressing early. They looked a little bit anxious. And Jude's personality, if Shoney is fire, this is the ice. This is the calm, steady demeanor. This time of year, you have your rotations, and look, so what's happening? It's not going well, so she gets right up off the bench.
Foul on Bria Smith, so Jude coming on. And replaces Smith, who heads to the bench. Jude, by the way, has doubled her scoring average in this tournament to 12 points a game. Rhodes lets fly, hits it.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think Jude Schimmel looks at the rim near enough, and I think today we've seen more of that. I think she's at times too unselfish, Jude.
Taylor trying to shovel that pass, and a foul from behind on LSU. And that'll go against Plaisance. Her first. She led the SEC in league games in scoring at 17 a game. LSU's first scoring champ in the league since Simone Augustus.
Well, how about that? You know, New Orleans kid whose mom was good friends with Sue Gunter and Pokey Chapman. She was meant to be at LSU, I think.
Jude Schimmel. Badly off target to the left of the iron. It'll go the other way. LSU will have possession.
I like that she's looking to the rim. I really do. I don't care if she misses. Jeff Walsh didn't look at her, didn't bat an eye when she missed that shot. He wants her thinking the same way.
She makes 32% of her threes. Ballard disrupted by Jude Schimmel. On her side, won it back, and Louisville will have it. Now let's see what they do. It's going to be a timeout. So a timeout by LSU. Should it have been? Tie up on the floor moments ago. This went as an LSU possession. They got a timeout, but should it have been?
I don't think so. And I think one thing I would say about officials when this play starts to transpire is Jeff is upset. The crowd was upset. You heard the boos before we went to break. Sometimes officials in this instance, they'll call the quick timeout and a quick jump ball. Let it play. Let the play develop organically as it's going to play, and then make the whistle. I think too often it's a quick whistle when somebody's on the floor, and it needn't be.
Hey, by the way, we invite you to get on ESPNW and go to Front Row with Holly Rowe. Holly examines the influence the Schimmel sisters have had on the Native American community. It's a terrific piece as Ballard strikes.
Really powerful, the influence on their last home game for Shoni Schimmel. 22,000, and a good percentage of them Native Americans. Just extraordinary. They went on a speaking tour this summer, gave of their time to bring a positive message.
Here's Shoni from the corner, right on cue. But she likes center stage.
I got to be honest with you, Dave. This is as well in the last couple of weekends as I've seen Shoni play. Just efficient and smart, good shots, not taking wild, out of control shots.
Rhodes leaning in, heavy traffic, won it back, draws the foul. And for more on the Schimmel sisters, let's go to Holly.
Well, this year, Louisville hosted a Native American Appreciation Night. You know, of course, Shoni and her sister Jude grew up on a reservation just outside of Mission, Oregon. And Shoni said, it took a lot of courage for us to dare to leave the reservation. I hope that people will learn from us that it's okay to leave and pursue your dreams. There's her family. Her mom, Cece, was a high school coach. And over 22,000 people packed into this building for Native Appreciation Night. People drive from all over the country. I talked to some people up in Iowa who had driven 12 hours to come and watch the Schimmel sisters play. It's just ignited and inspired a whole American population.
It took her mother, Cece, extraordinary courage to go off the reservation to get Shoni to a high school in the hopes of getting a scholarship. Her mom said, I was terrified, and unique environment on the reservation. Everyone knows everyone. It's like family. But you know, tell you what, you do all kinds of things for your kids, Dave O'Brien.
Taylor straight on, can't drain that. They Louisville up by 14, 45-31. It's a terrific basketball town. They support the men and the women Cardinals. And then batted around. Shoni Schimmel comes out of the pack with it. She'll drive it hard and spins in two more.
And give her teammates credit. She had two shooters and three, and running the floor hard and spacing.
McKinney passes out to Rhodes. Harden finds Plaisance straight on. The shot's not dropping for the Lady Tigers the way they need to hang with a number 3 seed like Louisville. Around the back to her sister Jude, and lays it in. The Schimmel sisters connecting. And how about Russ Smith loving it?
Well, that was worthy of ridiculousness.
Now, Russ and some of his teammates coming in and getting a giant hand, a standing ovation inside the Young Center before the last timeout.
Shoni Schimmel is starting to play and electrify a crowd here, as she has done over and over and over again in her career. A dynamic offensive player. A missed shot
ago, the men's team walked into this crowd and got a standing ovation. Russ Smith, what did that feel like for you and your teammates, despite the loss, to come in and feel so much love from your fans?
It felt good. I'm here with my boy, teammates, brother Terry Rozier, and my friend Troy. We just came here to support the women's team. They have a chance to take it all, and I'm just here to watch.
You have been known to be a ridiculous scorer on your own. I wonder what you think of Shoni Schimmel's game.
Shoni's a great player. She's deceivingly quick. She definitely can shoot the lights out. She makes her teammates better. She does all the intangibles for her team to win.
You've known a lot of these players on this team a long time. Bria Smith, and you go way back to high school. How do you try to support the ladies?
Bria, I'm great friends with her parents, great friends with her. I watched her grow up, play at Christ the King High School. So it's been crazy, especially to see the transformation she's made. She's doing a great job. She's been battling with injuries a lot, but she's been fighting through, so I'm just really proud of her.
So you have one of the best nicknames in sports. I need you to help me come up with a good one for Shoni Schimmel. What do you have, like Schimmeliciousness, or what do you think?
You got me on the spot. I can't come up with one. It's going to take some time. She's a great player, so she deserves some time and effort and some thought for that.
Okay, you get back to us on that.
I got you.
He's a great young man, and you and I got a chance to cover him a lot in the American Conference. What a run he had in a tournament, too. He dropped 40 on one opponent. He was, he's just sensational.
Fabulous smile. Yeah, just absolutely fabulous. And you and I talked about this when we covered the Louisville men. There were some people out there, I think, at the national level who thought ridiculous was the negative connotation, and it wasn't. It was, one, he's a dynamic scorer who's just, can get in a blistering pace. And just, he doesn't handle himself like your typical All-American.
Right.
There's an easiness and a sort of, should I say, attractive absurdness that Rick Pitino loved?
I think, and Rick Pitino loved the nickname so much, he named one of his racehorses.
Yes.
Rusticulous. So obviously it was a tribute to the outstanding guard. The season now over after that terribly difficult loss to Kentucky, but they've won a championship 2013, and the support for college basketball is, I have to say, at an all-time high in this city because of the way the women Louisville Cardinals are playing.
Plenty to be proud of if you're a Louisville basketball fan on both sides.
Slaughter will drive it, shot clock to 2 to spin, and it rolls away. Rebound taken away by Walton. She came over and plucked it free.
You got to love the activity. Just comes along the backside and flat out toughs LSU for that board.
Shoni Schimmel working on a 19-point game. And another rebound by Walton. Nice lift off the bench by Courtney Walton, the sophomore.
Sat next to her mom on the plane in here from Charlotte. She said she showed up at the Final Four. Courtney's mom last year saw all the parents said, I think this is a big deal to her husband.
Shoni can't bury the three. Strong rebound by Taylor and a foul. She gets knocked down. Asia Taylor named to the American Conference Most Improved Player. Ballard commits the foul.
And the crowd is reacting to all the effort. There's some people on their feet. Yeah, that was great effort in that sequence by Louisville.
Players really recognize that out of other players, don't they?
Real recognize real.
Schimmel faking the three. This would be a two-pointer, but can't hit it. Walton with another rebound. She's had 3 in about 30 seconds. Entry pass Taylor, quick strike, and that just wore LSU down.
Yeah.
They had 5 chances. 5 different chances and hit. Taylor with a 7-point, 10-rebound game going. And the lead balloons to 20. It's the biggest lead of the day for the Cardinals. Ballard hits again.
Wow. She
has been, at times, completely on her own.
Oh, come on. Asia Taylor makes a nice little hedge, makes her change direction. gives her guard time to recover, and Ballard still makes the shot.
Slaughter, no, around and out. Ballard with the rebound. He's also a big-time rebounder at 7 a game. Reversing field, lays in 2 more.
That is a big-time move right there. Freezes the defense by making them think she's going to pull it back out. Pretty. I'll tell you what.
22 points for Danielle.
You like the fact that you're going to have her a couple more years.
That's right, the sophomore from Memphis. Now, if her tournament ends today, she's going to wind up averaging over 23 points a game in this NCAA tournament. She averaged 10 during the regular season. Harden put on the brakes, but missed it. And out it goes. It'll be back over to the Cardinals. And Sarah Hammond is going to return. Don't you feel like for the rest of the time she's in the game, though, Sarah Hammond's got to get something going for Tuesday night and that showdown with Maryland if it comes down to that.
It's a great point, Dave, and I think too often in situations where the game has been in hand for one team or another, people think there aren't valuable minutes to be had. There are valuable minutes to be had. You know, coaches are always looking at how you're comporting yourself. How hard are you playing? What kinds of shots and decisions are you making and taking? So you're right. I think you're trying to get some momentum with your Sarah Hammond.
Gibbs nails another 3.
That young woman hasn't lacked for momentum. She stepped in the line and has made threes at a very high rate.
4 out of 6 beyond the line. Ballard went to the bench, certainly deserving of a rest for LSU. Rena Hill with a fall-away jumper. Rebound comes out high, and McKinney grabs that. Rena Hill is the first signee in LSU history from Japan. The first Japanese native to play in the SEC in women's basketball. Jude Schimmel frees it up. Here's Hammond to attack. And draws a foul. And Sarah Hammond will be shooting when we come back. We have a timeout on the court. 11:28 to go. 54-35 Louisville. Louisville regional semifinal. Let's go to Holly with Coach Jeff Walls.
Well, Coach Walls, sometimes with a big lead, it's silly to ask, what are you working on? But you're coaching for the next round and for the championship. What are you working on?
This game's not over with yet. There's 12 minutes left. Danielle Ballard's as good as I've seen in a while. The kid can score in bunches, so we got to make sure we continue to try to increase this lead. We've got to do a better job of rebounding the basketball. They're killing us starting here in the second half. First half, I thought we did a nice job, but we've got to continue to keep them off the glass.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Holly, even though they had those 5 offensive rebounds in one sequence, Louisville being out-rebounded by the game. And here's what he was talking about. Danielle Ballard, what an extraordinary postseason for this young woman. A relentless driver, the ability to get through traffic, multiple defenders on every drive she's had to beat. The mid-range game is there. The lefty can, step back and create a little space. And listen, we've talked about it. They are down their 2nd and 4th leading scorer. Their point guard, Jean Kenny, is as good a leader and distributor and running the team as you can make. Their best 3-point shooter. They've gotten 0 points off their bench. This is an LSU team that is monumentally challenged right now.
Moncrief out. Youngblood has been suspended, so a depleted team if ever there was one. And yet here they are in the regional semifinal. Jeff Walls believes they're not out of the game yet. I know Nikki Caldwell doesn't think they're out of the game.
Well, on the home floor in Baton Rouge, they had to score in their final 10 possessions in order to come here to Louisville. Just a great character to show some toughness and some strength of mind and play for the teammates who are out with injuries.
Danielle Ballard directing traffic. She has 22 points. She's been a one-person wrecking crew at times. She's needed help, though. She hasn't had much of that today. Hill with shot clock down to 8. Fires it up, well shy. Rhodes grabbed the rebound. That won't fall. Here's Shoni Schimmel now. 19 points. She's 6 out of 13 shooting. And Jeff brought it up. You touched on it, too. LSU actually winning the rebounding battle at this point. Gibbs would have missed by 1, but they are winning it, which is an oddity in a game that is at 20 points.
Should they come out of here, they're going to be challenged by Maryland on the backboards. There's no question about that.
Ballard can't hit. Shoni Schimmel beating Gibbs, another 3. 58-35. Gibbs with 15. She averages 8.
Well, just are going to be there. The key is, can we get her to maybe 2.5 turnovers per game? And that's exactly where she's at on the season.
Well, she's only turned it over twice in this contest. A little over 10 minutes remaining in this regional semifinal. Maryland ran past Tennessee earlier today. Alyssa Thomas had 33 points, 13 rebounds, and an All-American performance. And as we've seen from Shoney today, All-Americans carry themselves a little bit differently, don't they?
No question about it.
She races off of that court and getting some treatment. That's why. Looks like her hand needs some attention, but 19 points for Shoney. And a sloppy pass thrown out. And a little bit of a cut, it looks like, on his left thumb. Although she's all smiles.
Did she just make the peace sign because she knows she's on camera? You're right. All Americans carry themselves differently.
I thought she was asking for 2 Band-Aids, please.
No, I don't think so.
58-35. Smith to drive the baseline. Boy, Gibbs has been red hot. Not this time, though. 10 out of 27 from 3. It's such a big part of the Cardinal attack. And they have been hitting them. Ballard to set it up. Hollywood reports only 1 Band-Aid was necessary on the thumb.
You knew the rock star was going to come up with that information from the sideline.
Jumper off the front of the iron by Rhodes, and the rebound comes out to Louisville. Trying to add to a big lead here. And about to take on Maryland. Foul here as Hammond will go to the line. I love Brenda Freese and her pregame talk to her team. One of the things she said, it was a great speech, and we ran parts of it during the first broadcast today, the victory over Tennessee, but she said, we want them to know our name. They're Tennessee that won 8 national championships, but we're not here to kiss the ring.
Yes.
We are here to make a name for ourselves and make sure everybody knows who Maryland is, and they went out and did it today.
I just, that's one of the things that I think she does really well. And we constantly are in her locker room pregame because she is a fiery coach. You think back to their national championship in 2006. Her record in overtime is extraordinary. I believe under Brenda, they're 15-2. And in one of those games, she was not there. That's correct. She was giving birth. That's why. Yeah, that's pretty important. So only 1 actual loss in overtime in games that she coached. That's incredible. Ballard airborne, no. Jude Schimmel with the rebound. She's going to run it out of there. They have numbers, and Hammond connects. So just like you thought, Hammond needed to get some positive momentum going. She's gotten her back to the basket, gotten fouled a couple times, and that time Jude makes sure she delivers it on time to the post player. And the lead ballooning. Now look at the assist disparity, 18-1 in Louisville's favor. That is incredible. Yep. Sharing the ball brilliantly at times. I'm going to say this to you about Hammond, Dave. She has talked about when she's been in foul trouble in the past. She said, it's frustrating to me, and I don't necessarily react maturely. Well, today, she reacted maturely when she got back in the game. Hammond again powering in. That won't drop. And now a tie-up on the play, and LSU has the possession arrow. Now back to that nifty give by Jude Schimmel in the break. You got to love it. The junior has forged her own reputation. Did not have her hand come out from on top of the ball, and that was crucial to the no violation there. Hammond heading to the bench. Junior from Mount Vernon, Kentucky. 18 assists for Louisville on 22 field goals. There's been a lot to like here for head coach Jeff Walls today. And Slaughter and Plaisance tying up there. And a foul will go against Henderson. 7:55 to go. The pursuit of perfection continues for UConn.
Brianna Stewart's been amazing all season long.
They're unselfish. They play intense. They defend.
And Notre Dame stays perfect.
Now coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues, presented by Capital One. 7:30 on Monday, Baylor and Notre Dame. Can Notre Dame continue that perfect run? And then at 9:30, Texas A&M takes on UConn. UConn perfect as well. We have under 8 minutes to go here in the semifinal in Louisville. It is 60-35. The Cardinals obviously in total command right now. And it's been a bit of a party atmosphere inside the Yum Center here this afternoon, especially once Russ Smith showed up.
Yes, yes. It's been a loud crowd.
It's been a loud crowd, very much so. Jumper off the back iron by Smith.
I imagine given the later evening tip-off on Tuesday night with all the bourbon bars in town, it could be even louder.
Plaisance with a line drive jumper draws the foul on the elbow. 7:18 to go. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, you talked about how great this crowd has been. The building's packed. It has been loud and raucous. I actually got my decibel meter out. It got up to 102 decibels in here. Just to put that into context, 115 is a sandblaster. So just under sandblaster here in the arena. 140 is a jet engine, so we haven't gotten there yet.
Do you know of any other sideline reporter who might have a decibel meter in their bag of tricks?
No, and it deeply concerns me. I really want to know the truth. Begs the question, why on earth was only one Holly Rowe?
That's true.
It's one big purse, incidentally.
It's like the magic carpet bag.
60-37. And a whistle here, timeout. Jeff Walz will take one. So he'll take a quick timeout in this NCAA Women's Championship Regional Semifinal. It's setting up to be a pretty good one.
Tonight about the great Pat Summitt and all of the team members of that last 3 seed to win it talked about how egregious that was. They said we could not believe we were a 10-loss Tennessee team. It didn't happen.
Did somebody forget that Pat Summitt was the head coach? Plucked away. Hill comes away with it for LSU. A victory here for this number 3 seed Louisville today would be their 33rd of the season as Harden hits one from long range. That's their first 3. 1 for 6 on the day for the Lady Tigers.
Well, what do you love about what LSU has done in the second half? That they have never played to the score. They're down big, and they know they're seriously up against it, both with their short bench and the crowd, but they've never quit. They have worked hard every single possession.
Jeff Walz wants to run a little bit of that clock. Smith to drive. The kick here. The jumper is going to go. 3-pointer. Megan Dynas. 6'1" sophomore to hit it. And the lead back up to 23. Entry pass for Plaisance, but no. He's had a tough day internally. Hill's jumper short. Under 6 minutes remaining in this regional semi.
What an intriguing possibility. Jeff Walz was on Brenda Freese's staff in 2006 when they won the national title. Those 2 former colleagues, staff members could be squaring off.
Tuesday night, we'd have it for you here from Louisville. Slaughter with a long one. And the threes keep on coming for Walz and company. Antonita with 10. Hit 2 triples this afternoon. And the lead balloons to 26. Look at that 3-point shooting. Three right there on the line. But it'll go the other way with 5:11 to go. And Teresa Plaisance will come out. Her career is coming to an end at LSU. Slaughter will hit the bench. A senior for the Cardinals. The road about to end here for Teresa. Really had an outstanding senior year.
Took a major step forward and had to.
And the SEC's best. Henderson mishandled a pass. She had an easy 2. Here's Ballard on the hard drive. The teardrop, no. Battle for the rebound. Ballard wins it back again. Hill is open for 3. And that's in and out. So we look ahead to Louisville and Maryland on Tuesday night. How do you like the matchup?
I love the matchup. I love the backstory between two former colleagues, and I don't think there's a ton of communication between Jeff Walz and Brenda Fries since they parted ways on that Maryland staff. And Jeff had to take this job. Tom Jurich is as good an athletics director as there is in college sports. In fact, I was shocked Tom Jurich didn't win the athletics director of the year last year, getting this Louisville University to the ACC. Brenda Fries, of course, came here with her team with a little chip on their shoulder, looking to prove some things.
I think they proved a lot against Tennessee as Peterson misfires.
I think one thing that'll be interesting to watch in that matchup, and I said it to start this game, and Ballard has been the exception. Louisville does a great job, just like the University of Connecticut and most good defensive teams, at trying to make you beat them in ways that you're not necessarily comfortable doing. So I would imagine it's going to be an interesting defensive scheme on Alyssa Thomas, who has as hard a matchup as there is in college basketball. Maybe, the exception being Brianna Stewart there. That's the most difficult matchup.
Shot clock winding down, forcing a lengthy three that won't go. But a 28-point lead for the Cardinals. LSU still firing away, but it was only a few moments ago they hit their first three of the game. 3:11 left here. Now Brenda Fries right now enjoying time with her son. And this is right after the big win over Tennessee. Fired up. Her Maryland team on to the Elite Eight.
I don't know. I just woke up today and I said, I need something sportier. And done.
Okay, Maxwell. Just need to contact your insurance company with the VIN number.
I just did it with my Geico app. VIN number's up to the loaded.
Okay, well then, Jerry here will take you through all the features then.
Why don't we go out to the car?
Okay, I'll just... outside. Okay, yeah. His dad is my boss.
Yeah.
VIN scanning to add a car. Just a tap away on the Geico app.
Special sauce?
At an undisclosed McDonald's location, there is a club. Inside, the best of the best gather. And tonight, they welcome their newest member, Mr. LeBron James. And what does one serve the best basketball player in the world? The new Bacon Clubhouse sandwich, of course. 100% pure beef or chicken on a new artisan roll, all with our famous Big Mac special sauce. Because everyone deserves the best. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
You should serve it to everyone.
Congrats on the new car.
Thanks. The dealership reviews on cars.com made it easy. But
we thought it might be a little more tense. You missed the drama.
Yeah. Ask him whatever you want.
okay. I think my sister's prettier than me.
Research, price, find. Only Cars.com helps you get the right car without all the drama.
Kevin Nagani in studio. Two of the top 5 active scoring leaders will square off next. Stanford's Shanae Gwumake hosting Maggie Lucas in Penn State, 4:38 p.m. tip-off time. You know, Dave Doris, we're working hard here. Karen and Rebecca are doing sprints in the studio. Back to you.
It's all about fitness with you guys. Elite Eight now. UConn and Texas A&M coming up Monday night. Looking forward to that one as well as UConn continues its run to perfection. But can they be slowed up? Can they be stopped? Smith faking in a lane. Can't get that one to go.
Kara and Rebecca are two of the best in the business. I guarantee you neither one of them has in their bags a decibel meter. No question.
Makes you wonder what else is in that bag of Holly Rowe. 2:43 remaining. And a reminder, the final spot in the Philly Frozen Four will be filled tonight. St. Cloud State, Minnesota, facing off at 7:30 on ESPNU. Follow every championship at NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships.
Crowd just reacting to Russ Smith's departure.
Russ Sticulus has left the building. Off the front of the iron by McKinney. Now, you can't say enough about the effort of Danielle Ballard. 22 points, 10 rebounds, and what will be a defeat for the LSU Lady Tigers. But I think really a star was born in this NCAA tournament for LSU. Ballard just a sophomore, so has 2 more years remaining.
I mean, 5'9" and nothing but dynamic driver. And if she misses her own shot opportunity, she's going to play way bigger than her size and go get the offensive rebound.
First 2 games, she averaged 23 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists. Look at the rest of the team. They just never caught up to her.
Wow.
4 for 38. Everybody other than Ballard.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're Nikki Caldwell, it's not going to take a lot of searching to figure out why you lost this game.
Yeah, and you see the emotion on McKinney, who played really, really hard, tried to make a factor of herself on the backboards. It's the other end of the spectrum, the joy of winning and just the terrible disappointment of losing.
Oh, she's a senior.
Played as hard as she could today.
Shanice McKinney. Here's a look at a very happy senior, Shoni Schimmel, heading on once again to the Elite Eight. Tuesday night, right here on her home court against Maryland. 19 points for Shoni. Harden at the line makes that 70-43. A season high in 3-pointers made for Louisville. What a time to pull that off as it's turned over back to Harden.
I think one of the things that will be crucial, obviously, in the matchup between Louisville and Maryland. Louisville, Jeff Walz talked to Holly Rowe in that last interview about, he was upset with their rebounding effort today against a Maryland team that is well over +10 on the rebound margin. They're going to have to be really, really good rebounding the ball.
And 70-43. And with a score like that, you'd expect Coach Walz to be, up 10 or 15 on the glass anyway. So he makes a point. Smith at the line. Rhea Smith at 58%. And that one rather fortunately goes through, 71-43. LSU came into this game with only 8 players dressed. They knew it was going to be straight uphill against a very talented Louisville team that had won 32 games before today. And about to go to 33-4. And playing on their home court with great support. 2 more for Ballard.
I don't care how good your individual defense is. That shot doesn't matter. That's one of those great offense will beat good defense every time. When she gets separation like that on that little step back fall away, forget about it.
Ballard with 24 points. Here she is once again. Minute 25 remaining in this contest. Plaisance with a rebound and hit. She draws the foul. And stops the clock. 72-45 the score. So Teresa will be at the line. Plaisance also an outstanding, along with rebounder and scorer, an outstanding shot blocker. Number 4 in LSU history. Plaisance follows her own miss. Right back up with no. Won that back. Knocked away by Henderson. And a foul on Plaisance. Let's check in with Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, Teresa Plaisance, one of the seniors. This is her last game. But here's her and her mom. She was good friends with Sue Gunter, was Dobie Plaisance. And Teresa said there was actually an LSU official questionnaire at my birth delivery. So she was born to be a Tiger. She's had a great career. And good effort today from Teresa, their senior.
And made a huge jump from her first 2 seasons to an all-star this year. Anderson, too strong in that one.
In a day and age where kids not very often are patient, they wait their turn and pay their dues in practice. Plaisance was all of that.
And out steps Danielle Ballard. 26 points, 10 rebounds. Just an outstanding day. They needed 2 more of her on the LSU side.
Now think about this. Nikki Caldwell, excuse me, I keep doing that. Another Tennessee player, Nikki McCray. Nikki Caldwell recruited her hard from the start and just got her to come a little bit closer to home than UCLA would have been for her.
So 1:09 remaining. Harden will be shooting, the 5'9" junior out of Kansas. And she'll also be back next year. And got that one to go. You know, one thing the big lead has done for Louisville, it's allowed Jeff Walls here over the last 7 or 8, 10 minutes to rest a lot of his regulars.
Yeah, no question about it. You know, one thing I'd say Maryland has to do is we talked about the rebounding that Louisville will have to do. I think that if Maryland stands and dribbles the ball as much against Louisville as they did against Tennessee, they're going to be in trouble because Louisville's too good defensively. I mean, they're going to guard the ball. They'll come off the appropriate people who can't shoot. They're going to have to be better offensively, Maryland, than they were today. You're not going to be able to rely exclusively on Alyssa Thomas.
Who was just brilliant today. 33 points, 13 rebounds in a Maryland victory over Tennessee. And now the fans here in Louisville will celebrate the Cardinals again. They're about to move on to the Elite Eight to take on the Maryland Terrapins. We'll have it for you on Tuesday night, as we have every game of the NCAA Women's Championship on ESPN and our family of networks. So Louisville with a resounding victory here, as Caldwell will call a timeout with 3.6 seconds remaining to make a substitution. Going to get Rena Hill back in. And going to bring Plaisance out of the game. Teresa Plaisance getting a big hug. And an emotional moment for the senior.
It's hard. It comes crashing to an end if you're not going to play at the next level. And you spent your life with your passion in your game, and it's hard.
And it's over.